Do you have an event in your life that you wish you could do differently? If you had handled the situation a different way, what would your life be like today? Every day of her life, my mother thinks about one life-changing event, the birth of my sister. She does not wish that my sister was never born, but wishes she could change one decision before going into labor. One decision, one chance, that's all we ever receive in life. One choice can impact your life so drastically that things will never be able to resume to normal. Everything in my family's life could be completely different if Southern culture was not a factor. Overall, Southern culture has affected our lives in a very positive way. However, the accident that happened during my sister's birth is one that no one can prepare for, and my mother's Southern way of life may have changed the outcome in a negative way. Being born and raised in Florida has shaped my mother's way of living, her values, and her beliefs. The principle that was most implemented into my life from my mother while growing up in the South was to shape my life around my family. My mother taught me that family is the most important thing in this world. Without good family relationships, one cannot succeed in life. My mother was forced to become independent at a young age when her mother passed away suddenly. At the age of 12, my mother was left to cook and clean for her father, while excelling at school and growing up at the same time. Since her mother left her so suddenly, my mother has put more emphasis on closeness and quality time together in my family today. These examples my mother set and the nature of my upbringing has taught me to nurture and love unconditionally. Being a woman in the South, my mother also naturally taught me to cook and clean at a young age, in case of a similar emergency. This ultimately led to my independent and caring personality. These qualities are extremely important to have when you have a sister like mine. Having a life shaped by tremendous family values is very important to me today, especially because of Julie, my younger sister. The South is a crucial factor in all of my family's happiness. Without Southern culture, I can't imagine how my family would be today. I am not your ordinary big sister. This is because my sister Julie is completely dependent on my family and me. Without our incredibly strong family values, we would not be able to give my sister the best possible life for her condition. Julie was born on April 28, 1996, which was only 28 and a half weeks into my mother's pregnancy. Being born that early automatically put Julie at extreme health risks. She was born weighing only 2 pounds and 7 ounces and could fit into the palm of your hand. Not only was time against my sister's health, but she was also a breech birth, or born feet first. Despite the dangers of breech birth, Julie's birth was a success, and she was alive and breathing. She was put on a ventilator, and everyone, including the doctors, thought Julie would live a perfectly healthy life. We all soon found out that this was not the case. The day before my sister's birth, my mother went into the hospital because she was bleeding. Once the bleeding had stopped, she begged to go home to be with me, her 21-month-old daughter. At first, her doctor was reluctant to let her leave too soon, but after seeing how distraught my mother was from being away from me, he let her go. This is the choice that, if made differently, might have saved my sister. My mother's strong Southern family values to be with me might have hindered my sister's chance to a healthy life. The next day, my mother was rushed back into the hospital for an emergency C-section surgery, but it was too late. If my mother had not been sent home from the hospital the previous day, the doctors might have been able to perform the surgery in time. But unfortunately, my sister had already slid too far down in the birth canal and was coming feet first. Because of this breech birth, my sister's brain started to bleed. The ventilator that she was later hooked up to caused her to ultimately reach a grade 3 brain bleed. It went unnoticed by the doctors for a little too long. My family and I later found out that this brain bleed caused my sister to have lifelong brain damage. Just after my sister's second birthday, she was diagnosed with severe cerebral palsy. Cerebral palsy is caused by damage to a developing brain's motor control centers and therefore limits one's movement. Julie's brain cannot send the correct messages to her muscles to move correctly or on command. This is known as neuromuscular impairment, which causes my sister to be unable to walk, talk, feed herself, bathe herself, etc. Julie is completely dependent on my family and I, which makes my role as a big sister a little more challenging and important. I cannot even imagine how frustrated my sister gets. She's often whiny, irritable, and crying. Julie can understand everything that we say to her, but cannot get her muscles in her tongue and mouth to create the words to speak back to us. She cannot tell us when she is in pain, feeling sick, hungry, has to go to the bathroom, etc., which is the main reason why she gets so frustrated. Cerebral palsy also commonly brings about pain due to stiff joints and abnormal posture. The one thing that consistently makes Julie in a better mood is being out in the sunshine. Ultimately, without the awesome southern weather, we would have a harder time making my sister happy. Living in a southern household with strong southern culture, my family and I do countless activities that are often outdoors. We take Julie fishing, on the boat, to the beach, and to outdoor cookouts. Not only has the South provided sunny weather for my sister, but it also provides certain cultural aspects that we would not receive if living anywhere else. Because my family is from the South, many of them own various ranches and farms. This is significant to my sister because Southern culture gives my sister access to horses. Horses are crucial to my sister's happiness because of her limited motor control. Being and living in the South, my sister is fortunate enough to ride horses for special therapy. This type of horseback riding therapy is called hippotherapy. Hippotherapy is a type of therapy that uses horses to mimic the movements of walking. While walking, the horse's pelvis has similar movement to that of a human. If my family and I were not a part of Southern culture and did not have access to our friends and family's horses, my sister would not be provided with the therapy that she needs. Not only has living in the South implanted lasting family values in my life, but it has also made me the type of sister that I am today. It also has given my family and I a religious outlook on life. It is common knowledge that the South is generally more religious than any other place, and my family is no exception. My family and I strongly believe that Julie is a gift from God to all of us. She is a miracle and was put into our lives for a reason. Strong faith has kept us positive about my sister and her condition. Having someone with cerebral palsy in our house is sometimes very difficult. When these difficult times approach, my family and I pray to God to help us, and we strongly believe that He gives us the strength to continue. Without a religious background, I believe that it would be very hard on all of us to have hope and faith in Julie. God guides us every day to help her, and we believe that she is our gift from Him. My personal experience of the South is a very positive one. Southern culture has shaped my life in an awesome way, and I'm so thankful that I was able to be raised around such amazing values. Because our family functions and thrives off of Southern family values, my sister has endless support from every member of my family. I believe that if I had not grown up in the South, I would not be the big sister that I am today. I live for my sister and try to do everything I can for her to make her the happiest she can be.